What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another new episode of Ballin' Out as we enter the postseason now. I like to say, the most wonderful time of the year. Because it's going to be great basketball. The bad teams, the losers, they're all out now, and so now we get to finally see who will be the champion. So we'll just talk about the first round of the playoffs that is going to start on Saturday. As we're recording this on Wednesday, the first play-in game was last night. So we'll talk about those games a little bit, and then talk about not too much, but looking to Friday, what Friday could potentially look like, and then going into the weekend. So I guess we'll just start the play-in. Since we here right now. Today, Wednesday, as we're recording this, the Bulls and the Heat are playing, and the Kings and the Mavericks are playing in the West. But last night on Tuesday, you had the Warriors and the Grizzlies, the Hawks and the Magic. That Hawks Magic game, like I started watching it, and then the Hawks got up big, and then I turned it off for a second to play some video games. Next thing you know, I get a text from Caden, and he goes, "Yo, like the Magic coming back." So I open my
The Hawks coming back.
look at the score, and I'm like, "Yo," I was like, "Wait, what?" Then next thing I know, it's a like full 40-point turnaround. I'm like, "What?" Now the Magic are up 20. I'm like, "Bro, what's going on?" So, but I mean, what were your takeaways, from that game if you tuned in?
Yeah, no, I tuned in for most of it. I mean, the Magic, like we've always said, I mean, I've always thought the Magic were pretty like they just need to get healthy the whole year. They've been missing out on half the rotation for at least 20 plus games for basically every single one of them. I mean, you saw more guys that were in like the 50s, 40s for games out, and end of the day, they just couldn't get healthy the whole year. So that's why I think again they kind of got a tough matchup because they got to go up against the Celtics in the very first round. But the thing with the Celtics is too, I mean, we know how good they are. We obviously they've done it before, but they rely heavily on the 3-point shooting. And so if the Magic can at least do something there, again, I don't think the Celtics are in danger of losing the series, but like I could see it going to like a breezy 6, just because the Magic are just gonna just kind of keep themselves in it because they're gritty. I mean we saw like again, there's one player that goes off in every single playoffs for any particular team. It was the Anthonys. It was just the Anthonys were going crazy. I mean, Cole Anthony, I think it was 30 some points or whatever.
Yeah, so he ended with 26, 10 for
Yeah,
7, 4 threes.
basically
He was hooping.
basically a 30 piece for the man. I mean, it's just like it's stuff like that where like once you get into the playoffs, like it doesn't like the actual teams themselves don't matter because I mean basketball is a lot different from all the other sports in the sense that it takes one guy to really start changing things around. That's why we see with March Madness all the time. It's the same concept with NBA. It's just a little different there. NBA is a little more structured in the sense that there's specific plays and everything like that ran for each individual team. But like yeah, I mean Cole Anthony just decided to ball out. So that's why I think at the end of the day the Magic aren't like a team that like I'd like want to play. It's not like I'd be fearful of the Magic by any means, but like I think we're something else. So that was fun to watch. And then kind of just quickly on that Warriors Grizzlies game, I know we saw John Morant kind of go down a little bit with just a little bit of a twisted ankle. I think he'll end up being okay though. But at the same time, that Warriors team looked pretty solid too. I like their matchup going against the Rockets there. I know the Rockets have always been kind of a disrespected 2 seed out in the West, but I think that's going to be just absolute cinema. I do. I think that Rockets Warriors series will be very good.
I agree.
I would lean probably toward the Rockets in that one just a little bit, but that's one I could see going 6-7 for sure. That's no question about that. I don't think that's going to be an easy matchup for anybody out there. So I'm curious to see that. Again, those are just kind of the other games in the East and the West there. The Kings and Mavericks and Bulls and Heat. Both those teams. It doesn't matter if either one of those teams were to win. They're getting bounced. It frankly does not matter. I
Yeah.
just think I mean the Cavs in the East are just too good. They've proved it throughout this whole time. Even though we've talked about how much the Donovan Mitchell led teams don't do well, they will make it out of the first round. And obviously, I think the Thunder make it out of the first round, whether it be Grizzlies, Kings, Mavericks, any of them. They're gonna make it out, no question about that. So those ones I'm not too focused on. Like you said, we're recording this, on Wednesday night, and those games are playing tonight, so we're not sure who's gonna actually make it out of there, but yeah, I'm not too worried about either one of those games there. But the Magic, I will say, and Warriors are two teams that I'm like, whoa, that was something else. But yeah, that was kind of my takeaway. I was actually more impressed, I think, with the Magic overall.
Mm, mm.
Just being able to do what they did. Obviously, the Warriors, just gritty. Obviously, we know everything that we're going to get from Steph. Jimmy Buckets played playoff Jimmy mode there. He had a pretty good game. Foul trouble. I mean, he only had 2 fouls in the first half, but still, we'll see. I know. on the East side, just real quick, flipping back to it, Trae Young kind of went out like a sore loser in that game. I mean, throwing a little temper tantrum, and yeah, that was just kind of funny to see. But I was also kind of looking at it too. This is just a quick little side note. I think even if the Hawks would have beat the Heat or the Bulls, doesn't matter who, they're getting bounced by the Cavs in that first round. But it's like, man, if you could put some guys around Trey, I mean, I'd like to see what actually would happen there once you have a full squad.
I'm not sold. Atlanta have no vision. Like ever since like he last went to the conference finals, they haven't really done anything. It's had the DeJounte Murray experiment, which was terrible. Dyson Daniels, I guess is blossoming to be something. So I mean, we'll see. I think they need some upgrades.
They need a lot of pieces. I think honestly, I think Trey Young needs to get out. I just like to
I
see.
think I think he's gone. I think after this,
I would just like to see pieces around Trey Young to actually see if maybe that would actually do something there. Because with the teams he's had, he's overperformed for sure. So I think, I mean, at the end of the day, I'd just be curious to see where he would end up at, and kind of how that would evolve. I think earlier I might even mention Trey Young going to the Spurs. I think that was rumored way back then, but I'd like to kind of see how that would go. I just don't know how well he fits in with the Spurs culture, if you will. Is the only thing.
I don't think they do that trade anymore because they just got De'Aaron Fox.
Which, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, but at the same time, I think that'd be a crazy front court right there.
You take De'Aaron Fox and Trey Young over De'Aaron Fox and Stephon Castle.
That's the only thing is, I mean, if you're able to move Stephon Castle to the bench there, you're just building up your depth with the. But that's the thing. I don't know who you're going to lose if you were to get. I mean, if it's just a free agency signing, that's another thing. But like, if it were the case where like you're going to get guys that aren't going to play any more minutes anymore, like Stephon Castle there specifically, because I know he's an up and comer there. We're going to see what he kind of amounts to, but. I don't know. That's just one team I'd be curious to see how he actually would fit in there. I think that'd be an interesting fit for sure.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. No, it's definitely something to think about. That would be interesting. But going back to the Warriors Grizzlies game, last night.
Mm.
This Grizzlies team, I don't see. Well, two things. First of all, the Grizzlies, I don't know what they're going to do down the line. Because the stretch really in the second quarter, the stretch where they had like no points, they couldn't score, and Desmond Bain was the only like person. Like Desmond Bain isn't really a scorer, but he was giving that team a lift. They need more scoring because at this point it's like like yeah, he can improve as a shooter, but like he's just running to the rim every time or shooting a three. Like or there's no mid range game. So I feel like maybe if he gets a mid range game, it can be a little bit better, but I think they need some improvements. And then the Warriors, I was wrong with the Warriors. I can't lie. I think at the deadline said that I don't think they really do too much. But like you said, that Houston Warriors series is going to be a good series. I think that's going to be great hoops right there. Uh, I'm leaning more towards Warriors though. I can't lie. I think the Warriors get it done
Mm.
in 7, just because veteran team. I think that's what essentially it's going to come down to. As you get longer in the series, it shows when you have a veteran presence over like a younger team, and that's what kind of happened to OKC last year. Because they were the younger team, and then Dallas
Mm-hmm.
they had that veteran, so they kind of beat them. I think that same thing. I could see that happening here with Houston, but don't get me wrong, it's going to be like great series back and forth. I definitely could see it, going to 7 games. And
Oh yeah.
like you said, like the games tonight, it doesn't matter. The games tonight, the games Friday, like there's no reason to even talk about it because, like you said,
No.
Cavs, sweep, Thunder,
Yeah.
sweep.
It's yeah.
It's going to be playoff warm ups. That's all it's going to be. They're going to
Yeah.
be, it's going to
100%.
be regular season games. It's just going to be 4 more regular season games. Definitely a sweep. See, I don't got too much about
Yeah.
any of those, so I'm worried. I'm not.
Yeah. No, it's just both sides. Like they don't have anything going for them at the end of the day. I mean, Kings we've already seen. Shout out Gavin Gerke. Like they weren't the team. They weren't the team we thought it was going to be. Obviously with Darren Fox on the move there too. It's just like they got nobody. I mean the Mavericks. Like sure, yeah, they got AD. They got Clay. They got those guys there. But like no, they just don't though. It doesn't even matter at the end of the day too. Like the Mavericks are the only team that I could see out of those 4 there that would even have a chance of winning a game. Not even we're talking a game, against one of those top 1 teams. So,
I wish
like
they
I said,
had Kyrie.
nothing to
If
even
they had
talk
a
about.
healthy Kyrie and they were in this situation, I definitely think that they could maybe put up a fight against OKC.
I mean, I'm still even taking that one. I'm still taking Thunder and Max of
Oh yeah,
6. I
oh yeah,
mean, like 100. I mean, like I more likely. I don't want to disrespect the Mavericks by saying 5, but like Thunder are just also good too. Like I don't. Yeah, yeah. I've already said enough about that because honestly, yeah, like you said, those 4 games mean those 4 teams, I should say, have no chance.
yeah.
So
Basically
it
gonna be
doesn't
warm
matter.
up for him.
Yeah, that was perfectly said.
Yeah, so I think essentially the 1 and the 2 seeds are going to play on Sunday, because they had to wait for whoever they're going to play. So, but on
Hmm.
Saturday is everybody else. So we'll start, the first game that day. The Bucks and the Pacers going at it again, rematch from last year. Difference from last year. Giannis was hurt. Now he looks healthy, but the downside, Dame is going hurt. I don't think he's going to play the first round. I think Chris Haynes last reported that he was going to miss some of the series. And usually when they say that, usually means they're going to miss probably the first series unless it goes to 7 games, which I could see it going 7 games, but I don't think so. I'm leaning Bucks and 6. So.
Yeah, I mean, like what I've heard that. I mean, obviously we know Dame's going through blood clots, I believe is what it is, and I was just reading a report literally from 20 hours ago that said that the Bucks are getting good news in the sense that he's out the first game, 100%. Dame will not play the first game. They said there's a chance he actually might come back sooner than what they might have even thought.
Mm,
I mean, literally just before coming on here, because I thought he was out as well, basically the whole series. But more what it was looking like was he might come home for that first, potentially the first home game for the Bucks. And if that's the case, I mean, I still like the Bucks either way. I think the Bucks do get it done. I mean, they ended the season on an 8-game win streak. Giannis was absolutely tearing it up without Dame the whole time as well too. So, and again, I mean, like when it kind of we go back to like that veteran leadership there, like Giannis has literally got it done. I mean, he's literally won a championship. So at the end of the day, like he knows what it takes to get past, especially the first round. I mean, all this. So I would lean Bucks, but I definitely want to see when Dame will come back because that plays a huge factor in my mind. If they actually, because I was leaning if you would have put Dame in the series, I would lean Bucks, still Bucks in probably 6. But now I'm thinking this goes 7. I really do. I
mm.
think it goes 7 if Dame is not able to come back there. This Pacers team is hungry. They're aggressive. I mean, we've seen it before. They've been kind of under the radar kind of sleeper team, if you will. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see what they can get done. I would literally say it's a coin flip. I mean, in that series, I would say if Dame's able to come back soon enough, I would take the Bucks. But if he's not, literally, I would flip a coin. That'd be my answer. That one I feel pretty strongly about with that series because I mean, if it's literally just going to be Giannis, we've seen what happens sometimes in the playoffs too. And when it's literally just one player, you're going to make all the role players step up. And if they can't do that, no, I don't know what the Bucks' future looks like. So we'll kind of see from there. But I'm curious to see again Dame's status for this playoff series.
Yeah, I think that is going to be important. And I think just like you said, the role players, so like Kyle
Yeah.
Kuzma, how much better that trade, is a huge reason why they made it because Kuzma is basically a younger version of Chris Middleton. So he has to prove it though. So I
Mm-hmm.
think I think they'll be good. Plus again, Bobby Porter's back, so after
Bobby.
suspensions and everything too. So I'm happy to see Bobby back on the court. I kind of forgot about that. Not gonna lie.
I don't know Bobby. Arkansas Razorback talent. Dude's just an absolute menace out there.
Yeah, yeah. The second game on Saturday, the Pistons and the Knicks. A lot of people are excited for this series, especially myself. I think you are too. I think the Knicks, good team. Yeah, they're good, but I don't think they are a better team than what they were last year. I think making the Karl Anthony Towns trade kind of hindered them a little bit. Like, yeah, on offense, okay, they're better, but it took some defense away. And I like the Pistons' aggressiveness and defense to match up with the Knicks' defense. I think their offense, they win a little bit more, especially if like guys like Tim Hardaway, Tobias, Malik, like the veteran leaders, if they're actually hitting not out there shooting tour dates. I like the Pistons' chances. Pistons and 6. Give me Pistons and 6.
I got Pistons in 7. I got this game. This series goes every other. Knicks will win the very first game. Pistons are going to win the next. Then Knicks, Pistons, and then I think the Pistons steal the very, very last one of the series. I think they do it at Madison Square Garden in front of all the Knicks fans, Zach Smith included. I think it happens. I really do. I think this one's going to be an absolute dogfight. I just think the more the series goes on, the more we're going to figure out Jalen Brunson specifically. I think with him already being banged up there, if this goes to a very aggressive 7 game series, I think by that game 6, 7 there, he's gonna start wearing down a little bit, which I know Tom Thibodeau, that's exactly what his style is. He just basically wears his players down. I think by that point in the series, I think the Pistons will have the edge. So that's why I take them in 7.
I like that. I, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. You can have a cat. He'll get a bat. Wear a backwards hat. Pistons 6.
Pistons in 6, baby, come on. Yes, sir.
No, I think yeah, and I think the series is gonna be good, and not only like I've been saying, everything about Cade all year, da da da. He's an All NBA, no question about it. I think you go back, you look at Trae Young. We were talking about Trae Young. One of his first playoff series was where in Madison Square Garden. But he was the villain. He went crazy. I can't wait for Villain K. Villain K gonna
That's
be
what I'm
crazy.
saying. I mean, it's just the end of the day. I think the Knicks also get so worn down by their style of play, and at the end of the season, I think that takes an effect. Well, we'll get to one of the other series, but that's why I also think Kawhi goes down every single playoff series. Just he played way too much, and you know this. I mean, he hasn't been healthy for a good playoff series in a hot minute. Same concept with the Knicks in the sense that Tom Thibodeau just runs them like you would not believe, and then takes one player just that goes off against him, which Cade already has proven that he has. He's done it every game he's played against them,
Yeah.
shooting like 52%.
Yeah.
And so I think, I think Pistons in 7.
Moving on to the next series, which you already alluded to, was the Nuggets and the Clippers. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. Jamal Murray, Strawberry, set. I don't even know. Clippers in 6. Doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah, you mentioned Kawhi Leonard has not been healthy in a playoff series. Let's go through the brief summary of what's led up to that. Last year, Buddy didn't play like the last 5 games of the season, so obviously you had that. The year before that, that's when he got hurt in Phoenix after game 1 and 2.
Yep.
And he was playing lazily. But that was also the year that they had to play the playing game, and then the year before that he was out completely. So, anyways, I like our chances. Let me tell you why. The Nuggets don't have depth. They don't have depth. Their point of attack defense is kind of weak. Yes, we know that Jamal Murray can go crazy at any given second, especially in the playoffs. But is he going to be 100% healthy? Don't know. Jokic, you can get it for him. He's the least of your problems. But who is going to step up as a role player if Murray is not on like he usually is in the playoffs? Aaron Gordon? I don't know. Christian Braun? Possibly. It could happen. Russell Westbrook? Absolutely not. Michael Porter Jr.?
Going crazy. Russell Westbrook is definitely going crazy. He named him. He's literally going to have he's gonna go crazy. He's gonna come off the bench and he's gonna average a cool probably 12, 7, 8 off the bench.
See, this is what I thought last year, but then game 1 he did great, but then every other game after that, Buddy was like 4 for 35. So
No, I'm telling you, I believe in him this series. You also said Jokic is the least of your concerns. That man's dropping 40, 20, and 10. He's going to average that in this series.
yeah, and Zubac's gonna drop 20 and 15 to 18.
Nah, he looking at probably a cool 14, 14 and 10. I'll give you that.
14 and 14. I'll take 14 and
Nah,
14.
no
Yeah.
14, 14. Nah, Aaron Gordon's going to absolutely dominate that man.
Then
He's going to come
who's
in too.
guarding Kawhi? Who's guarding Kawhi?
The bench, bro. He probably ain't playing this whole series. He ain't
Okay.
playing the whole series. He'll play some games. I'll give you that.
I'm just saying it, and I know you've heard it because everyone's talked about it. But everyone, yeah, you see that man. I know you may have not watched. You watched the game on Sunday, the Clippers Warriors game.
No, I didn't watch that.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
watching some bums. I'm
Well,
watching
hey,
two championship contenders.
I'm just saying, he's looking like prime Kawhi right now, and
You said
he's
every
gonna
year,
remind a
every
lot of
single
people
year.
what happens. What happens? So yeah,
We'll
no,
see.
Clippers in 6. That's all I gotta say. Clippers in 6. And then the series to cap the night off on Saturday is the Lakers and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Yeah, the Lakers should win this series. We'll see. what happens outside of Luka Doncic and LeBron James. And we're going to see how many times
Austin
Anthony
Reeves.
Edwards, oh, he is attacking Luka Doncic every second. So we'll see how
Austin
long
Reeves
it
is still
goes.
that guy too. I think they got to outscore us at this point because Luka Doncic, dropping a cool 30 every night. You already know LeBron's gonna probably drop a cool. I'll even say old head LeBron probably dropping a cool 26 every night too. And they both dropping at least probably like 8, 9 assists every night too. I think the Lakers are really just gonna
I
get
need
done
it to
off.
be shooting like 50% if that's going to happen. Dang. You think that's going to happen?
Oh yeah, I do. I do. I think the Timberwolves going to put up a good fight though. Lakers where they're going to struggle is defensively, which
Yes.
I'll fully admit that, and I know that too. That's why I think at the end of the day, your two guys just have to they're going to play and they're going to play damn good. They're going to light it up. We already seen Luka Doncic in the playoffs. I know you've seen too much of him in the playoffs. And the last time Luka actually went up against the Timberwolves, we saw what happened with Rudy Gobert's goofy ass. Cooked him up, put him in a blender, sent that shit out, drank it as a smoothie the next morning. I mean, that's just how it goes. I genuinely believe this will be a good series at the end of the day. I think this might actually even go 6. But because the thing with LeBron's career too is he's always dropped game one. He always drops game one, but in this time, I don't know if you can afford to really drop the first game like that.
They shouldn't. It's in LA.
I know they shouldn't, but he always does. He usually drops the first game. It's usually like a feel out game. But at this point, I think when you have someone like Luka Doncic that's going to be there, I think he's going to get the job done. So I'm
Let me
taking.
remind you what Anthony Edwards did to Kevin Durant, Devin Booker last year in the first round. Shocked the world. That man
Yeah,
swept them. So that's
the,
all I gotta say.
the Suns, we even talked about it though. The Suns, you can't compare the Lakers and Suns. I think those are way different. But I agree. I agree though. I'll give you that. Anthony Edwards did cook, which I think he will. I think Anthony Edwards will have a great. I think he'll have a great series. I do. I think Anthony Edwards will cook, but at the end of the day, it just won't be enough.
Mm. Hey, well,
Lakers in 5.
Lakers in 5.
Lakers in 5.
I'll say for the sake of the pod, Lakers in 6. But what do I really believe? Wolves in 7.
Well, yeah, of course you do, man. You think probably Clippers sweep and Lakers get bounced and stuff.
No. I know the Clippers don't sweep. I mean, if the Clippers sweep, my gosh,
I
OKC
know.
better watch out. OKC better watch out. That's all I'm gonna
Oh
say.
my God. It'd be
I don't
back
think
to
that
back
happens.
sweeps then. It'd be you guys would sweep and then OKC would sweep y'all.
No, that couldn't happen. No, we'll
We'll
see.
see. We'll see. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to the first round. At the end of the day, I'm looking forward to the first round. I think there's actually some really good matchups. I know everyone always says 6 or 7's like the default answer. There's no like sweep or that. Besides the 1 seeds. I mean, we've already just
Yeah.
talked about that. Which even that, I don't know. We'll see. I think there could like 5 games max for either one of those. I don't think that goes. There's no way either one of those 1 seeds go to 6 games. But like Bucks Pacers, I would be shocked if that was a 5 game series. Pistons Knicks, still would be shocked if that was a 5 game series. I know I just said Lakers in 5, but honestly, I would be a little shocked if it was a 5 game series. And same thing with the Clippers and Nuggets too. If that was a 5 game series, all of those either way, I'd be completely shocked.
Yeah. No, for real.
So
Same.
we'll see.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah, that
think.
Warriors and Rockets though is also one that I was saying that's one I'm like, ooh,
Yep. Yep.
that's
I mean,
that's gonna be interesting.
I think you said it earlier too. I could see Celtics Mavs or Celtics Magic going in like 6 games. I could see
Yeah,
it.
I could. No, yeah. It just depends on how well the Magic are playing, and if I think it's got to be a combination of the Magic playing well and the Celtics being off on 3 pointers. That's I think what it comes down to, and we're gonna see what Kristaps. I've said this from the very beginning. I said it last year. I said it the previous year, whatever. Kristaps is that kind of deciding factor. If he's not on, yes, Jalen Brown's taken some leaps. I'll give him his flowers. He's played pretty well. He's definitely stepped up, but I don't know if I trust like just their shooting just to get it done. That's what happens with any team that's just strictly a 3 point shooting team. If you're off, you're off. That's just how it is. And so yeah, I'm curious to see that. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a phenomenal first round series for every one of these matchups, and I'm looking forward to watching it on Saturday.
Absolutely. Same. So yeah, we'll continue coverage. We'll probably do something like weekly, especially if games or the series ends up being longer than 4 or 5 games. It'll probably go into the next week. So yeah, we'll just continue to keep you guys updated. During the playoffs, each round, and look at each game. But until then, we will catch you guys next time.